All right, for this week's make and take, we are making the freeze wrap, the Freezie wraps for otter pops, ice pops, that kind of stuff. It's going to be a really easy pattern. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out to what they say, and then you're going to measure one side a quarter, not quarter, half an inch in. And what I do to line everything up, because you're going to end up putting all your Velcro pieces on before you do anything, I always measure out half a yard, or I measure out what it says to do, not half a yard. I measure out the middle and put my Velcro in, and I do that on the terry cloth and on the NASA pieces. So I can show you real quick on the terry cloth. And I use the friction pens or markers, depending on what you have. Okay. So then I mark 2.5. And then I mark down where the Velcro is going to go. Okay. Very easy. And then what I'm going to do I'm going to remeasure this one real quick. Okay. Okay. So what you're going to do on your marks, because I goofed, I had to fix this one, but if you do goof, you can always use a different color. You are going to take your Velcro and you are going to place it within that cut half an inch in. Okay, and then you're going to sew around it real quick. Alright, and then you're going to do the same thing on the terry cloth. Okay. So then we will line everything up right there. Alright, so now everything is sewn on there, okay? And now you're going to put right sides together. But what I'm going to do, this is just because I don't like it when I put this together and this ends up sticking on the terry cloth. So what I take is I take a little bit of Scotch tape, about the same length, a little bit longer than the rough side, and I just stick that on there. That will keep this piece from sticking while you are trying to sew. So that is my little tip of the day for that. And then okay, so now you're going to sew all with right sides together. You're going to pin or clip together everything, and then you are going to sew a 1/4" seam all the way around. So let's do that. Okay, so all right, I got everything clipped. You can do more if you want. Okay, and then I am going to put the terry side up because for me, my machine, the terry side is better up. Don't forget you are doing a 1/4" seam. Don't forget to back stitch your stitches. All right, and then you'll leave an opening along one side. I'm going to do it on the side that doesn't have any of the Velcro. All right, and then same thing. We're gonna go all the way around. All right, and now you are gonna put a turn opening in, or if you already did, fine. If not, I do it at the very end of my stitching. Don't forget for your turn opening to back stitch your stitches. Okay. Now you are going to clip your corners. Cut away all the excess. Don't forget to clip your corners. Show you real quick. And if you're a little bit smarter, go on to the other side. That is actually the cotton side, not the terry cloth. Okay. Now you are going to turn it right sides out. Okay. course, it has to be this. There we go. I knew it was coming out. It was just a matter of when. Okay, so for the turn opening, I would do about 1.5 inches. Anything smaller, you're going to run into the same problem that I just did. But see how that tape kept that from tearing the terry cloth? So Scotch tape really good for that. All right, now you're going to poke out all your corners. And then you are going to press the turn opening to make sure everything stays nice. Make sure you poke out all your corners. Okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna go and iron this real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so once you get all your corners poked out, you can then top stitch around to close up the opening. And don't forget the back stick to lock your stitches. And guess what? You're done. Really easy, really simple, and great for the summer. I think we go through a lot of these every day during the summer. My kids like the Otter Pops, but for instance, I'll just show you using the ruler. And it just goes like that. Like I said, very easy, very simple. This is this week's make and take. It is called the Freezie Wrap. And you can come down to the store and pick out your kit. Each kit will make 4 and the pattern will be included. All right, well, that is it. I hope to see you guys next week and we will talk to you later. Bye.